Hey everyone. Sorry, a little disorganized at the moment because sometimes it's a bit hard to find my channel. So I'm gonna go to the game on my app and then set up my scorecard. So still here, just stay tuned. Hey, if you're just joining in, I'm still setting up just because my app is or not the app. I had some trouble starting to stream it, so I'm still trying to set up a little bit. I gotta go on the Yankee game and set up my scorecard. So we're in a couple minutes, and the game doesn't start exactly till like 2:07 or so. So just using my app here, just trying to set up a little bit better. Just having trouble using the YouTube app. It's giving me a bit of a hard time. So that was pretty annoying. Okay, cool. Got the Yankee game on. A single AirPod because I lost the other one on a biking trip. Gotta get my scorecard ready. Yeah, like I said, I would have had this prepared before, but yeah, for some reason, sometimes it's hard to access the live podcast that I do. Like viewing wise, it's not that hard, but like in the studio where I like need to go hang out so I can start doing a podcast. So a little delayed, my bad. Yeah, now the game's not working, but it's gonna work. That's why I have two VPNs. Like a backup VPN that I always start with, and then I use the actual VPN. A VPN service is what like unblocks the like media streaming from foreign countries. So I would be able to watch the good VPN service. So we got two because those are unreliable. There we go. Now it's working. So, well, Aaron Boone's speaking right now on the streaming service or on the app, the Yankee game, and he's saying that J Happ, one of the Yankees pitchers, is available for the now. Recently, the Yankees clinched a playoff spot, and it looks like almost definitely they're going to play the A's, hopefully at Yankee Stadium, if they keep up their current record and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, so J Happ pitched well last time out. Even the Yankees had the loss yesterday. J Happ pitched like a good baseball, so he could be in position to pitch the one game wild card playoff between the Yankees and A's. Other pitchers and players, Tanaka and Severino, and they're all just kind of doing their last start before they go out and decide who's going to pitch the Walker game. Again, I got to do the scorecard really quick. So, bit disorganized again, my bad. Or also, like, stay tuned because, yeah, Also, while I was setting up this podcast, what I didn't realize was my roommate's brother and my roommate already came back from Jerusalem. I guess pretty late, like maybe like an hour ago. He was asleep, and I was prepared for that. So I had to like open up what and he like shut off the there's this fence that shuts off the balcony or the porch. And I had to like open it. I had to wake him up, and I felt really bad, but I couldn't just not have a podcast. So he was very nice about it. He's like, "Oh, do you want me to turn on the light?" And I'm like, "No, go back to sleep." So I did. So very nice guy. His name's Alex, and he's Arthur's brother. And they're both French. They're both really cool. So if you're the viewer who's just watching this after the game um, and is wondering why I'm quiet, just scroll ahead like till about the 10th minute, and I'll probably that's when I'll be able to start because I'm just trying to do the scorecard really quick. Hey, if you're just joining in, I'm still working on the scorecard, but the game will begin very shortly, and I'll be more in tune with you guys. So stay tuned. Hey, if you're just joining in, the game's going to start in a couple minutes. I'm just doing the final scorecard setup to prepare for the game. I had some trouble logging my channel at first. That's why I'm kind of rushing a bit to finish my scorecard or finish the scorecard opening. Um, yeah, well, here comes the first pitch, believe it or not. As strike inside. No balls, one strike on the Yankees. Sorry, I'm just finishing my scorecard. I'll be done in a second. Here comes the pitch. Ball outside, 1-1. Here comes pitch. Ball outside again, 2 balls, 1 strike. All right, you guys. I am sorry for the distraction. I had to finish my scorecard before starting this. Apparently, this class now does 3 balls, 1 strike. And yeah, so on the mound right now is Diego Castillo. He is part of the one of the Rays openers. And basically, an opener is someone who, instead of a starter, quote unquote starter, well, they are a starter. They start the game, but they only pitch like 1 or 2 innings. And there was a deep foul ball and just missed a home run. Well, actually, didn't just miss, but it was a deep foul ball that was hard hit. So 3 balls, 2 strikes on McCutcheon. He's leading off the game. And yeah, so I was saying, this Rays pitcher is one of their openers. Pitch. Strike 3 called right down the middle. It was a curveball, 1 out. So yeah, an opener typically pitches about 1 to 2 innings a game, gets out the good hitters, and then they have someone pitch for like 4 innings, and it messes up the batter's timing, and it's actually one of the reasons why the Rays have so much success this year, because they use this unique strategy because they don't have a lot of starters. Although one of the starters they do have, named Blake Snell, he's in Cy Young contention, and he might even win, which would be pretty bizarre. Here comes the pitch to Judge. Swung and a miss inside. So no balls, 1 strike. So as I was saying, Blake Snell is not an opener. He's a normal starter, and he is very much a Cy Young candidate. He already has 21 wins. The pitch was to just lag behind. Judge think foul tipped it, so now it's no balls, 2 strikes. Oh wait, sorry. Okay, just did it again. No balls, 2. Okay, just 1 pass and no balls, 1 strike. Okay, sorry, that's the app. So apparently Castillo throws 101, which just showed up. So that's pretty impressive. So Judge fouled it off now. This is current speed on the app I'm using, so now it's no balls, 2 strikes. So yeah, these openers usually typically throw very hard. They have like a good breaking ball. Blake Snow is a normal starter. Starts the game and goes deep into the game, as deep as he can. Here comes the pitch. Ball in the dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And yeah, he's won 21 games this year. He has an ERA under 2. And yeah, he has a very good shot of winning Cy Young. And this is a guy who is not even considered to be an all-star, but just went because people were injured. And Judge pops it up to the first base side in foul territory, 2 outs. So yeah, well, the whole mess of things in this whole opener idea, other teams have been adapting it, including the A's and the Angels. Now the Yankees are adapting it. Jonathan Holder, who is normally Yankees like one of their better relievers, so like not Betances, not Chapman, not Robertson, not Britton, but Holder's after them, and he's gonna open tonight for the Yankees. And for this reason, here comes the pitch. And there's a strike down the middle to hits. No balls, one strike. So the reason why Holder's opening tonight is because the Yankees are trying to evaluate who to pitch in their one game wild card playoff. Here's pitch. Hits, grounds it to first. He takes it himself, 3 outs. There goes the inning. So I just haven't figured out how to do commercials yet. So I'm just going to be taking like a 2-minute break in between half innings. So I'll be off there for like 2 minutes. Still here, just not talking. If you're just coming back in, the half inning's over, so I'm just taking like a minute break. Stay tuned. I need to figure out how to do the commercials, so hopefully I can do them next time up, or next couple times. And I'm very busy today. I'm probably going to do tomorrow's game as well. All right, we are back. So, as I was saying last inning, the Yankees also have an opener today who only goes in 1 or 2 innings, and instead of a normal starter who tries to go as long as he can in the game. So the guy who's opening for the Yankees is Jonathan Holder, and this is the first time this year where they're doing this. Even though the Rays have used an opener, and the Angels have used an opener, the A's have used an opener. It's the first time the Yankees are having an opener, having someone just be an opener, is because they're trying to decide who will pitch in their one-game playoff. On, and Holder's just giving the normal starters a rest and more time for reevaluation and what the rotation is going to be in the next like 5-6 games. And so that's the reason why they have an opener today. And Holder comes set. He's ready to go. Here comes the pitch. Strike down the middle. No balls, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch, and pops it up. Easy pop fly to hits, 1 out. The last batter up, his name is Mallet Smith. Great name, I love it. And he even more cool is he wears number 0, which is only worn by a couple players. I think it's like him and Brandon Phillips, who's a longtime Cincinnati Red, who's now in the Red Sox. There might be some more, but those are the only 2 I know as of now who is wearing number 0. And he has 35 steals this year. He goes pitch, ball outside. He has 35 steals this year. He's batting around 300. He's having like a great season. And these are like some of the surprising seasons by the Rays. Like just these guys who aren't as well known. Here comes the pitch. There's a ball outside. It's 2 balls, no strikes. And it's like these guys who aren't very well known, but they've helped the Rays win like 87 games. And a very good team. If they're in the National League, they would have had been in the hunt for a playoff spot, but since they're AL, no chance. Ball outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. 3 balls, no strikes. My bad. And the guy up right now is actually somewhat of a known name. He was on the Giants, I think, 2014 World Championship team. His name is Matt Duffy. He plays third base. Here comes the pitch. Ball outside. Matt Duffy walks on 4 straight pitches. So never good to walk someone on 4 pitches. It shows you a lack of command. And Now you have a hot hitter up in G-Man Choi. Again, another guy who's not as well known, kind of well known if you've been around the game a lot. Ji-Man Choi is like this first baseman who's moved around a lot in the last couple of years. Angels, Yankees, Brewers, no Rays, I think in the span of like 2 years, which is pretty bizarre. And yeah, he's been great for the Rays as of late. He's been very clutch. I think he's had a walk-off too, and it was just a crazy celebration. Ball outside, 1 ball with no strikes. And yeah, he's just like this big Asian dude who just like is like just hitting. Who just like all he does is smash homers. He's really fun to watch play. He has some like cool shenanigans when he's on the field or in the dugout, and I love him. He was on the Yankees for last year, and obviously the Yankees have first base problems, and he hit like 2 homers in a game for them out of the blue. We're just like, whoa, like, we love this guy. You'll forever be remembered to the diehard Yankees fans who are just coming in and hitting a couple homers. And yeah, he's been the first base savior for a couple days. Pop up, and that's going to go to stand. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Ji-Man Choi. Yeah, so he has like 10 homers, batting .267 with like 32 RBIs, which is pretty solid, especially for someone who like didn't even have 10 homers in his career in basketball leaguers. So he's starting to break out. And he actually has like pretty solid pop, so interesting to see how he does next year over the course of a full season. I'm sure the Rays are going to re-sign him. So yeah, he's a fun guy to watch. We obviously don't want to go against the Yankees right now, but it's nice to see him again. It's nice to see an old Yankee here. Ball low, 2 balls from straight. So I've mentioned this in my previous podcast, but Gary Sanchez has trouble as a catcher. And even though he is well regarded as a pitch framer, he's not like there's something off about it. So the last pitch he did was maybe a strike, but he just caught it very awkwardly, and it didn't look like a strike. A holder threw back to first, and a pickoff attempt to try to get the runner, but safe. Most of the time they aren't going to be safe. It's just more to check on the runner and keep the runners close. They don't steal on them all day. So the count remains still 2-1. Holder comes set, and here comes the pitch. Ball low. 3 balls, 1 strike. So the last 8 pitches have been 7 balls and 1 strike, so it's not look good. Especially if you're a guy who's just supposed to come in, throw strikes, get out of the inning, give the balls to the rest of the bullpen. I mean, granted, this is a very new situation for Yankees and Jonathan Holder and the new team, but not good to start the game off like that. Or at least he got it out, but still. Even guy can hit double play. It's not too bad, but it's not great. Follow, never walk. So that's not good. So now it's 2 on and 1 out. The guy who's up to bat now is Tommy Pham. He was, I'm pretty sure he was drafted by the Cardinals. He played with them all his career until he got traded to the Rays, which was very surprising at the time because the Rays were seemingly out of contention at that point and not at all likely to make the playoffs. They're still in it, but they're going to get eliminated with a loss or an Oakland A's win. So that's almost bound to happen. That's like 99.9% chance of happening. Exaggerating a bit, but basically at least 99%. Ball outside, so Holders really has no command right now. But him, we also talked this last time in my podcast, is a 2020 player, a former 2020 player, just 20 homers and 20 steals. And yeah, he's a solid player, and I think maybe a new environment on the Rays will help him. And he's a fun player to watch. There we go. There's a strike in the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. What's it say? Oh, Tommy Pham also had a lot of hype. Um, this guy was seen as like had the tools to be like the next Mike Trout, which no one can be. So Mike Trout's the best player in baseball. He's been consistent for a bunch of years. Uh, Strike at the lower part of the zone, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. Um, yeah, no, you can't compare Pham to Trout. I mean, he hasn't played up the level of consistency he has since in all his seasons, and he had like a couple, maybe like 1.5 good years. Um, but yeah, he was seen as that highly touted of a prospect. Ball that caught the inside, strike that caught the inside corner, 2 away. That was a great pitch by Holder. It was like a two-seam fastball running in and just caught inside corner of the plate. Beautiful execution, beautiful pitch, and now it's 2 away. So hopefully he can have this jam. But more on Pham, even though he's not up at the plate right now, is he actually had his career resurrected. Like he was having a lot of trouble. He wasn't doing well in the minors, and then he had this eye surgery because he wasn't seeing the ball as well. And after that, he ball missed low, 1 ball, no strikes. After he had this eye surgery, he was a lot better, and he's always had speed. And now since he saw the ball better, his bat was coming along and established himself as a hitter. And yeah, became a 2020 guy. And he's not having as good season this year, but he's still a fun player to watch. Strike that caught the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. The guy at the plate now is Joey Wendell, and I don't know too much about him. I mean, he debuted with the Rays this year. He's stuck himself in the lineup. I think he's a little bit of pop, some speed, good fielding abilities. He's a rookie, so you know what can you expect? But I've never heard of him on the prospect list before this year, or before he came with the Rays. But he's kind of cemented himself in the lineup, and he kind of seemed like one of those random players that just came with the Rays because they didn't have didn't have a lot of players at that point. Strike from the outside corner, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Like him and this other guy, Johnny Field, who plays on the Twins now. They were like these like 2 Ram guys that just came up and were suddenly on the Rays. They were just that's what it looked like. Yes, the Rays were not supposed to be good. They were supposed to be as bad as the Orioles, maybe in the beginning of the season, according to some people. The Orioles are now one of the worst teams in baseball, and the Rays are pretty good. There's a line drive to right field caught by Giancarlo Stanton. Sorry, Aaron Judge. They're both huge guys. So 3 outs. Holder gets out of the inning. I'm taking a tune-up break, but stay tuned. So the next couple of podcasts, I'm going to try to get some promotional service, play around with it. My next podcast will be tomorrow, and I'll post it, and I'll send it to the email mailing list, and Instagram if you're on that. Yeah, I'm completely swamped today. I have like Opon for 3 hours. I have Opon homework I do after this game. It's like 2 freaking a.m. in the morning. Then I have like this Opon activity. Opon's like Hebrew class. And then come home, I have to do more Opon homework. And then I have baseball. So I am just, when I get home, basically gotta go to sleep so I can prepare for the podcast tomorrow. So just completely swamped today. So no way I can work on trying to better my podcast and have less commercials. But yeah, but I'm definitely going to try to work on it. And a couple of you guys have given me some advice, so I'm going to try to work on that as well. Yeah, I want to make this the best podcast as possible. But sometimes my days are a bit limited here. I guess I didn't really take that much of a break as I was talking, and now the game's back to normal. Um, so, like what I'm trying to work on right now is like kind of the conversation going, while also being into the game and just like being involved in the conversation, being involved in the game, but also like not trying to give every single detail of the game. So they're kind of talking about this right before they started the inning, um, and that's the disparity right now between the American League and National League. There's a pitch, strike caught the inside corner, no balls, one strike. So the disparity between the National League and the American League is that. So the American League, they might have 300 game winners in the Red Sox, the Yankees, and the Astros. Ball inside, one ball, one strike. And so that means there's a lot of teams that are tanking or who are not doing as well, and may lose upwards to 100 games. The Orioles have lost 110 games, which is atrocious, one of the worst seasons in baseball history. Ball outside, two balls, one strike. And there needs people think there should be a change, but the National League, I think the most wins this year is probably like Cubs with 95, which is about standard, and there's a good amount of teams in it. Well, there's a couple of them. There's the Brewers, Rockies, Dodgers, and Cardinals, all fighting for a couple of playoff spots. Dodgers, Rockies fighting for the division title. Brewers, Cardinals, and Rockies fighting for a wild card spot. And yeah, it's will be interesting to see how the playoff format works, but it's not as been interesting September as it has been in recent years. Ball inside, full count. I guess it lagged for a second, so missed a pitch. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. But yeah, like I said, it's not been that much of an interesting September. People are kind of missing that. Like, there should be more competitive baseball. I mean, to be fair, popped it up to left field and first out. Second, I just broke the fly on the other side of the scorecard. I am a little tired. I got less than 3 hours of sleep to wake up for this podcast. Checking 3 hours of sleep, but I didn't go to sleep right away. But I mean, I at least think the National League was a very interesting season. A lot of teams were in it, but came September, those kind of separated themselves from the pack. These like 5-6 core teams, that being Braves, Cubs, Brewers, Cardinals, Dodgers, Rockies, kind of separated themselves, and now they're the only ones in the mix. American League is all but set. Basically, A's are still trying to fight for the division, but they probably won't get it. Braves are still in it, but if they lose any more games, if the A's winning more games, then A's have clinched a wild card spot. Red Sox clinched the division. Indians clinched the division. So it hasn't been that great of a September for baseball, which is a very exciting time. Strike inside on a swinging swing by Luke Voigt. And so some people think there should be a change to make baseball more exciting. And the commissioner of baseball has taken the approach, foul ball, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The commissioner has taken the approach to try to speed up the game by like 2 minutes, which is, I think, really ridiculous. I mean, he's trying to come to mound visits and like stop and have like a signal for intentional walk, where you just walk someone in 4 pitches intentionally. Foul ball, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he's thinking about shortening the game, having less certain innings, which I don't like. Baseball is already so game, and it's a very traditional sport, as it is. There's a lot of old baseball fans. So I think they should try not to try to speed up the game. Popped up foul for Voigt, so count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. And one idea I really like is by a Hall of Famer and announcer now, John Smoltz, who is a very good starter and relief pitcher of the Braves. And he's the only pitcher in history of 150 wins and saves. Very cool stat. Um, and yeah, so um, his idea. One on a miss, two away. His idea, John Schmaltz said, is essentially Hey guys, I am so sorry about that. Um, I do not know why that happened on my broadcast and why it got shut off. That's very strange. Basically, what you guys just missed is now there's second and third with two outs. There was a single to shortstop from Andujar, and then a single to right from Torres, and then a wild pitch. So now it's second and third, two outs. With a Danny head chivalry up and one ball, no strikes. Again, very sorry. I have no idea why that happened. Sorry, Gary Sanchez up at the plate. Now it's one ball, one strike. You just want to miss hit a ball up. Sorry, just me. fill it in very quick. It's still on, just try to fill this in. All right. Yeah, sorry about that. Lost a couple viewers from that, so hopefully you guys return to me to do that. Strike inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, the announcers were just mentioning how Danny Hechavarria is shortstop tonight, and Labor towards that second. I was thinking at first, like, well, that makes sense because Danny Hechavarria, he's a great defensive shortstop, and Torres normally plays second. They're saying, well, maybe Torres should play shortstop, and Neil Walker plays second. Neil Walker's had a better bat in the second half, so I would agree with that more. If you substitute later in the inning, or later in the game, and you're up, your defensive replacement, sure, why not? Maybe they're just trying to get used to that. Danny Hechavarria will get more record bats until D comes back. T. Gregorius actually got injured on the winning run when he slid home, and Kim was like, yeah. And he came in with the exact same face. Pretty good impression, I would say so myself. And he actually hurt himself, and he might be out for the year. Swung and a missed. That's the third out, and we are going to the bottom of the second. Just write that down. This isn't too much damage or break this inning since I already kind of had one. So one second, let me just drink some water. Yeah, I mean, I like Hechavarria. I mean, he's gonna lead off the next inning. He's gonna be the first batter up next inning. I mean, he's a glove first shortstop, but he was he won a Gold Glove in I think 2013, 2014, and he can actually have some pop. I mean, like random pop, just comes homers. He comes at random times. I saw him turn on or like crush a 98-mile-per-hour fastball over the left field fence. I was just completely shocked by this because here's this guy who supposedly can't hit, and he just took this really hard pitch and just hit a home run off it. And I was just totally unprepared for that. And I was jaw dropped. It was really fun. It was really fun to see. I also love his name. You can't beat that name. Danny Hechavarria. That's just a great name. That is such a good name. Yeah. So let's see if Holder's still up. Oh, so as an opener, Holder's now already out of the game. Placed him with Stephen Hartley, who the Yankees called up from Double-A earlier this month. He's pitched pretty well out of the bullpen. Well, if you look at his ERA, it doesn't look that good, but I see some good stuff in him. He's I think they were more trying to use him as a lefty specialist, which means they would try to get him he would try to get lefties out, and mostly that. But here he is. He's also, he was a starter, so he's probably going to go a couple innings for the Yankees, probably 3 or 4. And he comes set. Let's see. Catcher, here's the pitch. Fouled off. No balls, 1 strike. I do like his number. It's number 71. You don't see that too often. And I mean, it's common for rookies to have higher numbers, especially if you don't know if they're sticking around or not. But yeah, he's come in situations where he's seen an out or something. So I think it's not been bad. Fouled off. No balls, 2 strikes. The batter up right now is Brandon Lowe. I got to be honest, I have no idea who he is. I think he's either September call-up prospect. Maybe a guy who got in a trade. I do not know who he is. But he's a switch hitter, I think. Swung and a missed. So, 1 out. Next guy who's batting now is Austin Meadows. And he has a very interesting story. So, for years now, the Rays were contemplating trading their ace, Chris Archer. But he wasn't. He always had a very good strikeout rate, but his ERA wasn't good in the last couple of years, so he wasn't seen as a good trade piece. And the Pirates bit. They took the trade bait. That was a strike outside. Snowball's from strike on Austin Meadows, who's the batter who's up. And so and for trading this guy, Chris Archer, they got Austin Meadows, who's been a great prospect for a bunch of years. Ball outside, very low in the dirt, 1-1 strike. He's been like a very tight prospect for years. He's like 6'7", good outfitter. He's batting around 300 this year in the limited games he's played in. Has some good pop. He's also he's a lefty. You realize that. Grinder is second. Torres throws the first, 2 away. And he totally jammed. Stephen Kirkland totally jammed Austin Meadows inside. He threw it. There's like the inside quarter, and then he threw it more inside of that, and his bat broke. A shard of the bat just came near him as he was running down to first base. So, very good pitch. I like that. It's a good job by Stephen Tarpley. Also in that deal, the Rays got another highly touted pitcher named Tyler Glasnow, who's also a freaking tree. Actually, Meadows only 6'3". Glasnow is a tree. He's 6'7". He throws like 98. He's always had command control issues because he's such a big dude. So they gave him. He's now been one of the Rays' 2 stars on the plates now. Strike inside. No balls, 1 strike. Oh, no balls, 2 strikes. It lagged. Sorry, no balls, 2 strikes. And they also got this other guy. I forget who he was, but I think he's also a good player. You got 3 guys for Archer, who hasn't been good in the last couple of years. And the Pirates are like, all right, we got a shot now to contend. Ball very low outside, hit the dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the Pirates at the time were doing well. They were in a hot streak. They're still pretty far behind the Brewers and Cubs, by a couple of games. But the Pirates, they no one expected the season. They just traded for this good guy and basically upended their farm system. These guys have been having for years. And there's another Grinder second, goes to first, and that's the inning. Let me just take a sip of water and take a 2-minute break. Stay tuned. This inning's over. Yeah, I'm just filling in a holder stat line right now and waiting for the next inning to start. It's funny, they just saw a pair of, less than 3 hours sleep, a commercial of Coors beer. And it's funny because Israel started to drink beer a bit. Right now we're on a commercial break if you're just tuning in. But I'll be back in a minute and just talking about Israel and stuff. I've started to drink alcohol here. And but I'll say so far probably the best alcohol I like is a Heineken. So maybe that could be my commercial. That'd fit perfectly with it. So as a part of the opener, um, Rays now have a new pitcher, Diego Castillo, the Rays opener. Pitched 2 innings, 2 scoreless innings, and now they've got in Hunter Wood. Never heard of him. Guessing he's going to be a hard-throwing starter. Let's see. Goes 94. Pitch was fouled off by Hechavarria. No balls, 1 strike. Yeah, so in September, so they're going to have more relievers that are lesser known. Yeah, I mean, I'll talk a little bit more about Israel. The game's lagging a bit, so I'm just gonna sit down and refresh. But yeah, I mean, I always saw these beer commercials for like baseball games with the end. It's like, hey, I can drink beer, and now I can like just taste it and see what all the hype is. Okay, so there's a media error. It's gonna work. I've encountered this many times. Just stay tuned. I'm so sorry for all these problems. There's really nothing you can do about the Wi-Fi and stuff, or media errors or the VPN service. Yeah, I'm in Israel and I'm using these foreign like services that are a bit foreign to me. So I'm just trying to do the best I can do with it. But I have. I can try to better the podcast by doing maybe working on resolution, which is one of the comments I've heard. And I can work on trying to get some commercials. But as for how the game's gonna go, or like how viewable it is, I mean, usually it's been pretty reliable. I mean, last time it wasn't, it was just more of the app, but it's usually pretty viewable. They're pretty easy to fix if it's just like a minor problem with media error. I'm still waiting for it to return. There we go. So now it's 2 balls and 1 strike on. So apparently, okay, Hechavarria lined out to center field. McCutchen's up. There was just another strike. So now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes on McCutchen. And it is unfortunate that this VPN service sometimes be a little iffy or Wi-Fi, because you do miss some aspects of the game. Remember one time I missed a home run because of that. Ball inside, full count. So, very annoying, very frustrating, but there's not a lot I can do about it. So right now they're zooming in Blake Snell, who I was talking about earlier. That ball's drilled to left field, and it is gone. That ball was mashed. It was a tater. Trying to work in different goals. Tater's never named for a home run. And, so McCutchen just hit a line shot to left field, right in the corner, right by the foul pole, and Yankees are up 1-0. He's been great for us. I mean, McCutchen is the man. Like, this guy, he had a slow first week, and then he started, walking a crap ton. Now he's hitting the ball hard. And, he just put us on the board. Yankees are up 1-0. Let's get it. Against these freaking Rays who are just really pesky and annoying. We used to beat the crap out of them, and the Yankees used to beat the crap out of them. We used to beat the crap out of the Rays and the Orioles. There's a strike inside the Judge. And it was, awesome, back in the day. It was really just the Red Sox who were up the division. The Yankees just killed their division rivals. Ball outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. And, so catching the Yankees on the board early. They're doing better about scoring early now, so that's been good. Strike right down the middle, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, I was asleep. It's me with a little bit of miscues like that. Ball in dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Batter of the play right now is Aaron Judge, and he's been. He's the man. It's amazing how much he improved from his call up in August in 2016 to his Rookie of the Year campaign to continued success this year. Ball outside, full count. I mean, like 2 pitches ago, there was a ball in the dirt. It was a decent curve, but just a ball in the dirt. He just like didn't even care. It's like, all right, whatever. Just took it for the ball. You've seen it so many times, it's not going to affect him. He fouled it off, so count remains at full. And yeah, it's just nice to see. It's nice to have him back in the lineup. He was gone from forget which. It was over June 26th. It was July 26th. Yeah, because he was playing the All-Star game, and he didn't come back until like a week or so ago. I think one of my podcasts had it or was trying to do it. Found it again. Count remains full. And Judge is notoriously known because, as I mentioned, he had a good eye of like running off that curveball in the dirt. He has a very good walk rate. He battles a lot, and he has one of the most full count at bats in baseball. He gets the full count, like one of the highest rates. Here comes the full count again. Ball high, and he got on. So now it's 1 on and 1 out as Aaron Hicks comes to the plate. And yeah, I mean, he's just a huge threat to a pitcher. Like, I mean, he'll strike out a lot. He gets his walks, he gets his homers, he bats around 280. He's a great player. I mean, it's so fortunate, like, to have that stable holder like Judge in the lineup. I don't know if it is a word or he's correct, but I'm gonna roll with it. Stable holder. That's a word now. Yeah, I mean, Stan's a streaky. I mean, there's other solid guys like Hicks and TD, but Judge is just, I mean, he's imposing. He's a 6'7" behemoth who weighs 282 pounds. And he won Rookie Year last year. He's capable of hitting like above 500 feet. So he just balances this Yankee lineup so much more. It's really good to have him back. No strike to hit, so no balls, 1 strike. Yeah, I mean, it's just nice to have Judge back. I mean, he used to play about 500 baseball without him. Lost huge ground to the Red Sox and eventually weren't able to win a division. So it's just nice to have Judge back in it. Just pitch ball way outside, but nice kick. So 1 ball, 1 strike. That was a great catch by the catcher. His last name was Fufo. He's also new. Never heard of him before till today. Again, probably never heard September call up. September, the rosters go from 25 players to 40-man rosters. Here's Brown under second. Throws a short. Throws back to first. Hits is safe. But very close. They almost got a double play. But hits is too fast. So now we got 1 on with 2 outs. Scoring at home, I know what no one is, but it's just a common expression. But if you scored as a force out, 4-6. Actually, they may have gotten double play on that one. Let's see if the Rays challenge. Oh, they're not even sure they got the at second, actually, because he may have been off the bat. Like when he caught the ball, he wasn't on the base. Oh, he looks like he was on. He stayed on. But as David Crow mentioned, he barely stayed on. So Hicks was definitely safe at first. And now Stanton's up. Ball low. So 1 ball, no strikes. But back before a couple years ago, when the Dodgers second baseman Chase Utley, wow, pitch right down the middle, 1 ball, 1 strike. Stanton just swung through that. That's the pitch he needs to hit. Very streaky guy. That's the pitch that should have been gone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball high, 2 balls, 1 strike. But as I was saying, this guy Chase Utley had a hard slide into the Mets' backup shortstop Ruben Tejada in the 2015 playoffs, and so because he had a hard slide and he slid off the base and just tried to break up a double play, they made a rule that, all right, you had to protect the rounders a bit more. So you can only slide directly into the base. I mean, protect the fielders, but I mean, strike high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So they have to protect the runner a bit, the fielder a bit more. So they give the fielder more room to turn down plays and to go to the bag. And because you can always slide right into the base now. So used to be, there's a ball in the dirt, blocked, which kept hits from advancing seconds, so full count. It used to be this, like, I forget the name of it. Again, that's the drone speak. It was like an area play. So if you slid anywhere near the bag at second, you don't have to touch it, then runner is out. But now you have to touch it because they're giving them fielders more leeway. So in that play where hitting a potential ground ball, he barely touched the base, and that's why they were arguing about that. Ball to third, Duffy throws the first, 3 outs. Well, at least McCutcheon got the Yankees on the board. And yeah, good night. Take a little bit of a 2-minute break as the half innings over. Rick, just going to get a snack. So now pitching for the Yankees is Sonny Gray, who's probably going to go about 3-4 innings. I thought Tarpley would go longer, but I think they're trying to use him more as a reliever. Strike high. Actually, be interesting to see what they do with Sonny Gray in the playoffs. If they'll keep him, I'm sure they're going to keep him on the roster as a long man. As awful as he's been all season. Ball inside. He's actually, or at least as a starter, he's actually been a solid reliever or solid long man. He's pitches a couple innings, and that's why they call him a long reliever or a long man. And I like him better than Domingo Germán. Well, actually, he was great out the bullpen, so we're able to keep him too. But he's still more an experienced pitcher, playoff experience with the A's. So I like him better than pitching out the bullpen than Domingo Germán or Stephen Tarpley or AJ Cole. So sorry, getting loud for a second. Ball low, 2 balls, 1 strike. So I don't think he's going to be a starter for them in the playoffs because I have they're going to have, if they make it past the wild card game, they'll have Severino, Tanaka, Happ, and CC. And that'll be their 4 guys. Strike outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We'll probably keep Lance Lynn too, who was in the trade with the Twins, where they trade away Tyler Austin, their backup first baseman. There's a swinging strike. That was a beautiful pitch. It was one of Slaughter, or I don't know who it was. It just moved like crazy. It started like inside corner at the knees on the lefty, and it just died down, like just dived right into the dirt. It was like a loopy, just like actually it wasn't. It was like just hard, like it was like dived straight down, like made a beeline for the dirt. Hitter had no chance. That was that catcher who just heard of today, Krufo, who struck out, and now back at the top door is Mount Smith. Trying to think of like what other stuff to talk about. Mount Smith out it off, 1 ball. No balls, 2 strikes. So wait. Sorry, it's very hard to see on this. Yeah, no balls, 2 strikes. Actually, it's funny. The app MLB at Bat, which is probably the best baseball app there is. Sorry, ESPN. You're not as good as MLB at Bat. It's a fact. Don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. All high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. It basically it's in real time, so it gets faster than the game on here. So I ever need to check it, just the count. I can always check my iPad and just see MLB at Bat. Can't do that on my phone because I was doing look at the game. Ball outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. We were talking about Mount Smith earlier, and so he was a fast base runner. He was about a 300 hitter. He's also like a great outfitter. Like he's been solid this year. Like very good plus for race. That was a ball in the dirt, and he's worked his way. Mount Smith has worked his way back to a full count. So yeah, I mean he's fun to watch. I mean I have a friend back home named Amon. Kids in Mount Smith is like, this guy's been great. Like I love the guy. Like he's been stealing bases for me. He's been getting hits. He's been helping my average. He's been a solid player. I think at one point, but I didn't have enough room for him in my roster. Actually, eventually stopped using it because I was kind of out of it. And I was trying to look at baseball a tad less. Oh, ball just missed low. So Mount Smith gets on base. Like I was pretty sure that was a strike. I mean, okay, they have like a 3D plane of like the strike zone from like knees, like a little bit away from your knees to 17 inches from that inside corner, and then basically from the knees to your belt buckle, and that's the strike zone. And basically, if it passes through that 3D imaginary plane, the umpire's sides, it should be a strike. So that pitch went a little bit low, which means it probably went through that 3D plane because the curveball goes down low. That was a strike, so no balls, 1 strike to Matt Duffy. So, yeah, the ball just missed, but it really looked like a strike and looked like a good pitch. It wasn't on Sanchez that time, thankfully. He actually framed that pretty well. But Tim Avail. Gray just threw that to first, but I just keep tabs on the runner, but he obviously got in. Let's talk about Duffy a bit since he's up at the plate. Sonny Gray just threw the ball away. He was trying to attempt a pickoff throw, and because of that, Duffy went to second. Wow, that's very rude. So the Rays are known for being very loud when something good happens their way. So when Sonny Gray just threw the ball away, it made an error, which allowed Mount Smith to go to second. They're like, wah, wah, wah. And that's what the announcer just did. So that's annoying. It does piss off the other team to rally the fans, but as an opposing fan of the other team, which obviously they're not the Rays demographic, Yeah, that is rude and that's annoying. And I want them to get out right now pretty badly because that pisses me off. Or for the race at a homer, if it's loud, like blaring noise, and it's just really annoying. And yeah, just a rub in the opponent's face. Uh, Duffy swing and miss, which is great because I just let's get out of this thing. I'm annoyed about that rant thing. Maybe a bit too butthurt about it, but it's annoying. I don't like hearing that. I don't like seeing that as a member of the other team. Also, the Rays, like, this basically Yankees' second home. I mean, the Rays get, like, no attendance when Yankees come over. Their attendance grows immensely. Ball missed outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So, not very fair to your Yankees fans' demographic, Rays. That's annoying. But, yeah, Blue Jays do that, too. Like, they have, like, this loud sound that happens whenever there's a home run. Yeah, I mean, it's just to, like, rally the fans. I mean, it's a good strategic sense. Do I like it? No. Yankees said I'd probably be on a totally different opinion on it, but they don't. So actually, what they do is the lights like flicker on and off when someone hits a home run. So I guess every team has their own little thing. But yeah, it's a little annoying when your team's made a mistake. But more on Duffy. I mean, this guy, like I said, he was, or like I said earlier, ball low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. He was a great player on the Giants in the limited time he was on there, only a couple years, but he was an all-star in his rookie year. I think he came, I'm pretty sure he's an all-star. And he came in third, and he played good defense, and he had a little pop, and he batted over 300, and he's still batting over 300, still has a little pop. There's a ball to Tuhar, throws to first, and that's the second out. That was a great read by Mount Smith right there. Usually when the ball is in front of you and you're not in a force out, the runner's usually on advance. Because it's too hard to come in, no one on third was occupied, so Smith took third. So in addition to being fast, he's also a good base runner, which is actually a bit of a difference. Because if you're fast, but you don't have a great read on the pitcher or on the defense, then you're not gonna you're still not gonna be a good base runner because they'll find a way to get you out. One of the best, and wish I didn't have to mention him, but for some reason just comes in my head because he's so famous. I guess makes a lot of sense why it comes in my head is A-Rod, who he was one of the few players to have a 40-40 campaign and 40 homers, 40 steals, and he was fast, of course, but he also was just a smart base runner. I mean, and in that year he stole 46 bats, which is like you don't out there and you think of A-Rod, you think lots of homers, lots of walks, lots of strikeouts. You don't think about him, stealing bats like that. Maybe 10 at most in a season with the Yankees, or at least that I remember, or I would think of. 46 with the Mariners. That's hard to believe. He was just smart. Games live against again, cancel out and go back in. I wish there was a better way I could stream it. Just the way it would be foolproof. Don't have to worry about anything. It's just a bit better resolution, but hey, at least I'm able to do this broadcast 5,000 miles away. It's a 2-1 count. Troy grounds at the third, goes to first. That's 3 outs. So Gray gets out of a jam after the error in the walk, and we're heading to the top of the fourth. So again, on like a 2-minute break, his inning ended. We're back in like a minute. Chips Town. We should be in that in the break. And we are back. Wow. So, one of the guys who's been pitching a lot for the Rays as one of their longer relievers in the opener. There's a line drive to right field. That should be a double. Smith fields the ball. He's going to throw a second. Voit has an easy double. Luke freaking Voit is the man. I'm saying a lot of guys are the man, but this guy's the man of the mans right now on the Yankees. Like, this guy came in from a trade of the Cardinals. I mean, he wasn't really going like anywhere with them. They had Carpenter playing first base, who was an MVP candidate, and they had this other guy named Jose Martinez, who's pretty good. And Voit was third on the depth chart there. Comes to the Yankees, who have first base troubles. Takes over struggling Greg Bird. I mean, who could have taken over his spot? He was a decent first baseman at this point. And it was a try Greg Bird, but trust me, as a Yankee fan, you feel that to a huge extent. Voit comes up. All he's done is hit like 11 homers, 11, 12 homers in less than a month, which is bizarre. And that ball is hit right back to the pitcher. Good thing Voit didn't try to advance, or else he'd be thrown out. So the pitcher Yarber threw to first base, so now it's 1 away. But Yankees has a bunch of multi games, so over 300. He's been playing good first base. Like, he is the answer to Yankees' first base problem so far. And I hope, as much as I want Greg Bird to be that guy for us, be that first baseman for us in the future, like they've been wanting him for a while. Gleyber Torres up, by the way. I should probably announce who's up. Yeah, he's been the man. Like, there's a high fly ball, but it's caught by the left fielder, who is, should know this, Tommy Pham. 2 away. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how next year, during the season, before the season, how Luke Voit and Roy Bird do, and he will get the starting nod at first base. His Bird hasn't put like zilch, like maybe late in the game at bad innings are up, or start like every now and again. Voit's a little bit roughed up because he's probably not used to playing so many games consecutively. But yeah, he's been the answer to first base problems, and made the best first baseman win. Ball inside, 1 ball, no strikes to Sanchez. His Torres flew out last at bat. But I actually got cut off earlier because I was just happy about Voit. Is this pitcher Ryan Yarbrough, I think that's how you pronounce it. Yarbrough, strike low, 1 ball, 1 strike. But this pitcher, so he's coming after the opener, or later in the openers, and he's been pitching like pretty well. He has 15 wins, and this guy doesn't even start, which is just utterly bizarre. Who's pitch? And diving stop by first, takes himself to the bag, as the 3rd out. So the double from Luke Voit goes unavailed, and that might bite Yankees back in the butt. Well, we shall see. And we go into the bottom half of the 4th inning. Bottom half, and he's definitely quick. You can go to my channel, Yankees from Israel. It's one word. Yankees from Israel. Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Your thing. Sorry about that, you guys. So I actually just visited a cool play. I was sorry, I was talking to my roommate's brother. I was trying to get to watch the podcast because he's been asking me about it. But Tommy Pham just hit a double down the line, just missed a home run by a few feet. So raising threatening, and Sonny Gray does not do that well with runners on. So that's not good. Why? Why Sanchez? That's an easy pass ball. So, like, the pitch was just like a normal strike. Like, the umpire even called it a strike. It didn't matter where his glove was. And it just, like, somehow went off his glove. So now we got a runner for no outs. And Sonny Gray, who is not the Yankees' best pitcher this year, now has to try to get out of that, which I don't think is too likely. So that is very frustrating. And yeah, David Cohn's right now. Like, we've seen this far too many times. It's ridiculous. Like, if this happens in the playoffs, like and I'm sure it will. The Yankees go far enough. It might even happen in the wild card game, which is scary. It's a one-game playoff. Ball in the dirt. At least he blocked that one. But yeah, like, he leads the majors with pass balls of 16 now, and he's missed like a month or so of the season. Like, jeez, like, I know you have struggled with catching, and I know it's hard. I'm sure he knows more than anyone. He works very hard at it. Like, I always say he works very hard, and I believe him. Like, you want to believe it, but, like, it's just, like, you got to see the results. I mean, you play a premier position. You got to catch the ball. You got to block the ball. You got to catch. So you got to make sure the ball does not get by you. You got to control the. You got to control the running game. You got to do a little bit better job of pitch framing. It's annoying. He needs to really work on that. He needs to shape the crap up on the offseason. It's grounded to first. What? Okay, I'm confused. So they did not get him out. So it's grounded to first. Luke Voigt checked if he was going home. He wasn't going home. And then as he turned around to first, the guy was already safe. So that's an easy play. So, what? I mean, he was a bit off the bag, and no one was there, but he checked too late. Like, he didn't make a good enough adjustment. Like, So now that was a normal ground ball, and now it's gonna be a hit. So that's just great. I mean, Voigt is a big guy, so maybe he isn't as great as a first baseman, I said, but you don't see that too often. You know, it's like, random, and it happens every now and again. Sanchez blocked a ball in the dirt. I mean, that one was a little bit lucky. I mean, Wendo easily could have gone a second on that one, and the ball went behind the runner. He swung though, so it's no most one strike on Brandon Lowe. But yeah, that was I thought it was just ridiculous. It doesn't happen too often, and at the worst time too, when someone's on third and Sonny Gray's up, and he's got a swim 1-0 lead. And like I said, having a runner in second and not cashing him in with no outs, you can have some productive outs. You can hit a ground ball and a fly ball, and you have some very good chances to score a runner in second. Yankees always have that problem. Now it's biting the butt right here now. I guess it was. There's a ball in the dirt. Error blocked by Sanchez. At least he's blocking it now, but still. I mean, these balls haven't been anything special. It's what he should do. It's his job. A pass ball, got to catch it. Got to catch it. Not so bad about Voigt because that doesn't happen too often, but Sanchez, that's a regular deal. That is very annoying. 1 ball, 1 strike to Brandon Lowe. Might be a switch hitter too, actually. I'm not sure. I don't know him too well. There's a ball right up the middle. Hechavarria takes himself and throws to first. So it's a 6-6-3 double play, which is basically the play I just described. But in that event, the run scores. It's only 1-1. The 2 outs in one play. No one's on base now. It's 2 outs, so let's move on from it. But Yankees shift team is amazing. I mean, because he was playing right behind the bat. It was a single up the middle. Like 10 years ago, he hit every time. The Yankees knew his scouting report. I mean, they could have played double play depth. They could have played like shortstop a little away from second, like cutting or kind of a little bit close to second, first base, second baseman a little bit close. But no, he hit him right behind the bag, came through it, gloved it, threw to first, double play. Let's move on. Ball low, so allowed to hit some outs. 2 balls, no strikes. When it's a double play and the run scores, it's not RBI because you're doing more harm than good. You're getting 2 outs for a run and not being that productive. I guess maybe that's the reason behind it. That's my assumption. Yeah. So, all right, not too mad about that. I mean, hey, good job, Sonny Gray. Way to make a pitch. That one just missed being a double. It was went foul over first baseman's head at being moved void. So now it's 2 balls, 1 strike. Oh, that's not good. So Hicks might be a little bit banged up. He ran a little bit awkwardly to first base. He reason how people at least he got to first, but you'd rather him get out than hurt himself, of course, especially since we're in for the playoffs. But he this is a common injury with runners going to first, is they see this from a coach play and they lunge with their foot and they try to step on the bag, and in doing so, it's kind of an awkward step. You're putting a lot of pressure on your heel and on your foot, and it can lead to injuries. So hopefully he's okay. He's not in the game right now, so that's not good. It's probably for precautionary reasons. Hopefully it's nothing more. Yankees don't need another guy to be injured. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's just a ball in the dirt. But yeah, that was not. That's not good for Yankees. That's concerning after just D's injury in the past couple of days. Swung and missed. It was a strike high, and that's the end. So all in all, not a bad inning. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. They could have scored a lot more runs. They could have put more pressure. Good job by Sonny Gray. Hey, I mean, like I said, he's not better. We've been giving some doubt just because he's had a rough season, but he got out of it pretty much unscathed. And those more because of his defense than anything else. So yeah, I might even be. Let me check. Okay, the run was earned, but not a bad job by Sonny Gray. Actually, pretty impressed by that. So having so worse is going to take a 1 minute break or so. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. My mom just pointed this out to me as I was texting my roommate's brother Alex to going for the game. Um, yeah, if you heard me fart on the side, I'm sorry about that. That was uncool. Uh, I didn't really want to rush to the bathroom, and podcast is starting. You know how it is. So sorry about that. If you heard it, my bad. All right, Yarbo's still pitching. Apparently missed an out. Heshebrief left center. And now it's a 1-1 count on McCutcheon. Wow, they actually got back to him quite fast. Seems like just like 10 minutes ago, he hit that solo homer. Now he's back up at the plate. Big cut, but he missed, and now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Um, yeah, McCutcheon's been very good for us. Now, because of that, um, he's reduced the playing time of Brett Gardner. McCutcheon fouls it off. His count remains 1-2. Um, I mean, Gardner does not have that great of a productive season. I think his defense is still very good, but I don't think it was as good last year. He still might win Gold Glove in left field because who else defensively is better than him? Hey guys, I am super sorry about that. Thanks for sticking by. Kudos to you guys for being such a great audience. Oh wow, so Brett Gardner apparently just had an RBI single, and Yankees are up 2-1. Wish I could have announced that. But yeah, it's really just all the Wi-Fi. I have no control about it. Maybe I could ask my room to the router, but we tried that once and it didn't really work. Try it again, or I could ask why it didn't work. But yeah, so they showed up. They're actually going Brett Gardner single again, and he got jammed, but he just looped the ball into center field and right over the reach of second baseman, and uh, Judge scored easily. I guess Judge got on base, and McCutcheon flew out to center. I know that. So, yeah. No, Judge must have gotten a double then. Actually, no, Judge walked and then got on a pass ball. So 2 pass balls this game. That's what happened. But yeah, thanks for sticking by. It's awesome, you guys. You guys were great. 1 ball, 1 strike on Stanton now. Yeah, that was just bizarre. Yeah, I'm just filling in what happened, but yeah, that's really annoying. So Gardner comes in the game to replace hits and gets an RBI single. There we go. That's a good shot. And that's going to land. That's a hard double. Let's see if they can get Gardner home. And he's going to come home. Whoa, that was a good throw. Oh, not a great throw. And they threw home. They threw back to third, and Stanton was trying to go for extra base, and they threw him out. So Gardner scored on a double, but Stanton's out at third. I think the throw was going to be good, but it's a shortstop that was quickly. He actually didn't throw the ball that well, but still went to the catcher. He threw it to third. Stanton's out, so that's the third out. And yeah, that's the inning. Actually, really used to back him, so I'm going to go right back. I'm sorry for you guys waiting. I know we just got back, but I just got that. Hey guys, sorry about that. Wow, y'all stayed. Thank you. You guys are really a great crowd tonight, even though right now it's only three of you. Um, so it's one and two count, and strike three. Chad Green's in a game. We just threw a dot of the outside corner from 97-mile-per-hour fastball. So one away. So yeah, last inning. Just to recap, Judge got on base after 2 outs on a walk, second walk of the game, went to second on pass ball. Gardner drove him in, and then Stanton drove Van Gardner of a double, but because he hit the ball so hard, 109 miles per hour to be exact. There's a ball. I'm part of the weird thing. There's a strike. So no balls, one strike to Plufo, the catcher. And then since they hit the ball so hard and they reeled home, they had enough time to use easily out of third. So Weezer up 3-1, 1 out. Now it's 1 ball, 1 strike. And yeah, just filling in from Stanton, or Stanton's the line. What happened last inning, to be exact. There's a strike, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a pitch on the outside corner. And he swing and miss. So already 2 strikeouts for the dominant Chad Green, who came in for Sonny Gray. I would have liked to see a bit more depth from him. I mean, ruin your bullpen. I mean, you still got a whole other series, and maybe they'll go to after Green, so maybe this won't be that bad. We'll just start early versus 1 stone, which isn't too bad. Sometimes you can do that in a day's work regardless. But yeah, never swing and a miss. So no balls, 1 strike announcement. Green is looking dominant right now. Yeah. I mean, I think the reason why they're doing this is because in the playoffs, after the starting pitcher of the wild card game, whoever it is, there's never striking outside corner 0-2. I think it's going to strike up the side, Chad Green. But between Severino, whoever is going to pitch, Green's going to be the first guy to relieve them. And he might go 2 innings. So the more you get in 2 inning situations, the better. Never swing and miss. I was called it. He struck out the side. Wow, that was fast. I just got back here, struck out the side to the top of the 6th inning. That was beautiful performance. Struck out 3 batters on 11 pitches. So great job, Chad Green. Oh, sorry. 11 pitches. Nice. He's basically the Yankees bullpen ace. He's like their long reliever, can go a couple innings and get a lot of strikeouts, and yeah, he's great. So since that happened, I'm just gonna fill in the rest of the guys I haven't done so yet. But thanks for sticking around, you guys. It means a lot. Last time I had between 0 to 1 viewers in this stream. Today I've had 3 viewers so far, and with a max of 5. People usually watch it afterwards a bit too. And thanks for watching as well. Thanks for watching live. But if you need to for any reason, you can always watch it after the podcast's over. It saves. So just letting you guys know for future reference. But it's nice having a live audience. It makes me feel like it's more official. So thank you guys for that. But I'm just going to finish these stat lines really quick. Way hits a hard ground ball to third, throws to first, and he gets him out. That was a great play by Bowers, the first baseman, on the catch. It was over his head, but he shifted his feet across the bat and he got Void out. So one away. Some quick outs so far. As Miguel Andujar steps up to the plate. Yankees just announced that the injury report for Hicks is a tight hamstring because of the play. And as Michael Kay stated, they got to hold their breath about that. You don't want another injury to another great player, especially so close to the playoffs. I mean, Didi might be able to turn by the end of the season, which would be amazing. Because we need him for a wild card game in the playoffs. I'm just going to use that word. I'm going to check it later. A staple holder. But yeah, it wasn't worth for him to send his foot like that. I'd rather double play than trying to continue that inning and hurting yourself. Dior swung and took a big miss, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's a very interesting guy in Duhar. I mean, I love him. Like 43 doubles this year, 25 homers, bats around 300, has a good arm at third base, has a good chance to run rookie of the year. He fouls it back. But he swings like he's a very aggressive hitter. I mean, that's the next game, and that's part of his game that you obviously want to see him improve on. And yeah, so like, what was I gonna say? Yeah, when he like swings and misses sometimes or cuts it, it just looks very awkward. Like even when there was a ball that he just took, and he was like falling over, trying to like hold himself back, or he swings like in the foul ball, in the big cut, the big swing and miss he had the pitch before, he like his whole body turned out and just is funny looking. But even when he hits the ball, sometimes it's just like his hands go and his body kind of follows, and it's just funny. Like you don't really see someone who's aggressive like him all the time nowadays, and especially whose whole body just works with everything. But that's what makes him Duhar a great hitter and a great player, and that's his style. So gotta love it. 1,000-hour pitch off, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And yeah, he's been a great surprise this year. I mean, the third baseman for the Yankees this year was Brandon Drury, and then he was out for a couple months with a migraine. Came back, didn't do well. Yankees shipped him off to the Blue Jays in a deal for Hap, along with prospect Billy McKinney, this outfield prospect who was going nowhere in the Yankee system. And Duhar swung and missed at a curve low in his zone, so 2 outs. And that's what comes with aggressiveness. You're gonna swing at bad pitches at times. You're going to strike out. I mean, that was a good curveball. But it will also he doesn't strike out too much. Like he's a good bad ball hitter. Bad ball being pitches out of the zone. So, hey, you can't complain. He's a rookie. He's been doing great. He's in conversation for Rookie of the Year. There's Torres, and he takes a strike. So no balls, 1 strike. And, yeah, can't complain. The guy up now, Gleyber Torres, is also in the conversation for Rookie of the Year. He's having a great season as well. Like 23 homers, I think about 23 homers. Solid defense, like 270 average, about. And, yeah. He's also Gleyber Torres is definitely in the conversation for Rookie of the Year. So interesting to see that, and also Shohei Ohtani, this player who can both pitch and hit. He's also in the mix. Here's the 0-2. Inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And personally, as much as the Yankees, Ohtani should win Rookie of the Year. I mean, he has 20 homers and way less bats than Andujar and Torres. He also has pitched pretty well in the time he has been. And that hit Torres, so exactly what we need, someone else getting hurt. He's just walking it off, so hit the ground and then hit his knee. But he should be all right. But when he's left right now, you don't like to see that. Wasn't intentional by the pitcher, of course, but yeah, um, that's a little scary to see after TD getting hurt the other day. Then now Hicks having to leave the game, and yeah, so that's a little scary. There's the pitch, and as a strikeout on the outside corner. Batter up right now is Gary Sanchez. We already talked about his defense, so why beat a dead horse? But his offense has not been great either. I mean, here's a pitch. Fouls it off. No balls, 2 strikes. His offense hasn't been great either. I mean, this is the man Gary Sanchez, who had like 53 homers in the first 2 years he played. First year, he was limited to 53 games. So his potential was enormous. He also was a great defensive catcher. I mean, there's pass balls last year, but he was still throwing people out of throwing runners out at a good rate. Grounds it to shortstop. Let's see where he throws to. Throws it to second for the force, and that's the half inning. We can take a little break, and we can return to the Gary Sanchez conversation in the next half inning as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Pretty sure the pitcher who's pitching for the Rays is Yarbrough. I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong though, because that's an intense last name, or an interesting last name. I shouldn't say weird because different culture and all that stuff, and my last name, which is Cohen, probably be weird to some people as well. So you never. It's probably not weird in his culture. Where it was from, but I've certainly never heard of it. You're saying bless you across the street and thank you if not. What ifs? So, yeah, he canceled out, so he's gotta go back in. So David Robertson's replacing Sonny Gray. Chad Green. It's funny. Chad Green plays Sonny Gray, colors. Yeah, so funny. Ball, so one ball, 1 strike on Matt Duffy. Like I said, I should announce the players a little better. There's a strike in the outside corner, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kay just mentioned they just need 12 more outs from their bullpen, and yeah, the bullpen's done a pretty good job today. I mean, Even Gray, even though you have that run that was more on his defense, and hey, they're out bullpening the bullpenners, or that was the title of the like kind of the previews of the game. Like Razor and Torres been known for their openers this season, and the Yankees are pulling the same stunt. So they've been outperforming them today. So pretty funny when you think about it. That was a ball, so now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Matt Duffy. The pitcher pitching now is David Robertson. There's a ball in the dirt that, of course, goes through Sanchez's legs, and now it's full count. So Robertson, I mean, I've always liked him. I mean, this guy was a very good pitcher in the Yankees. He was one of the guys who relieved Mariano, and then he went to the White Sox and had a good career there. And then Yankees traded for him last year in the Todd Frazier deal. And yeah, so he's always been a solid reliever for us. They call him Houdini. That's his nickname since college, because he would get these huge like jams but find a way to get out of it. Similar to how Houdini would get in these tricky situations and find a way to get out of it as well. There's a foul ball, so count remains at full. And yeah, I mean, the thing with Robertson though is like I said, he's Houdini. Sometimes he does get in those situations, or he comes in tough situations. Like relievers sometimes relieve starters who having a tough time, and they come in, try to fix the situation, relieve them, help them out. Hence the name relievers. Never foul ball. Count remains at full. Yes, I mean, it's weird. So you always see him like blowing the lead a bit, but it doesn't get charged to him. It's like you see that a couple of times this year. Like it's not been one of his better seasons. Still very solid. Still solid for any reliever, but I'd like to see a little bit more from him. He's been great as of late too, but like you've seen him a couple of times this year. Never foul ball. So Matt Duffy's giving him the works right now. Works. That was a good one. Sub 5. I'll start my sportsman process, but that was worth it. I also had 5, so gotta have fun myself. Ball low, so that walks Duffy. He wins the battle. I mean, Robertson throws like 92, 94 mile per hour fastball, has a wipeout curveball, and just throws a lot of pitches and gets guys on base. This whip. There's a stat called whip, which is walks, hits, and innings pitched. It's a good measurement of how good a pitcher is and how effective he is and how many guys usually on base. And if you have one over 1-2, that you're getting like a worse zone, have one closer you are to 0, the better. Best pitchers in the game have like a whip of like 0.8. And that's like unprecedented. Like, it doesn't happen too often. It's been happening the last couple of years. And there's a ball that goes under Sanchez, and Matt Duffy goes to second. So what else is new for you, Sanchez? Thank you for that. Putting an other guy unnecessarily in scoring position. Just what they don't need. Let's see if that's a pass ball or a wild pitch. It's a wild pitch. But, yeah, we can't have that. That needs to change. It is so bad seeing that day in, day out. It seems like every day. Like, there's not a day where it's not like a wild pitch or a pass ball. He needs to fix this shit. Like, I know his pros. And I'm sure he knows it better than everyone. There's a ball outside, 2 balls, no strikes to G-Man Troy. Yeah. But, oh, wait. I think they called it a pass ball, actually. They just said in the area it was a wild pitch, and now they're saying pass ball, so a little confused. Okay, so guys, is it pass ball or not? Ball low, so now it's 3 balls, no strikes. And that must get in the pitcher's head too. When you like have a wild pitch, you have a pass ball, it's like, okay, your defense is not there to help you, or it hasn't helped you. So you got to do more. And when you try to do more, and it affects it affects more of your performance. And hey, you just walked him now. So now first and second, no one out. We have Tommy Pham, who's a good home run hitter, and that's not a good situation. So, I mean, sure, Robertson will have to start in 4 pitches. That's not good. But does it help that Sanchez moved the guy for second, making you think about it more, making you try to execute better pitches? No. Hey, Sonny Gray got out of the inning pretty much unscathed in the 4th, but, that sometimes that can really rattle a pitcher when your defense isn't helping you behind you, or in this case, Sanchez being in front of you. So, yeah, not good. Pham fouls it off, so no balls, 1 strike to him. Like I said, he's a former Tommy Pham, that is. If you're just tuning in. He's a former 2020 player, and actually has 20 homers this season too. Wow, that's surprising. Actually, not as bad as I thought. In 274, with 362 on base percentage, which is the percentage of which you get on base, like hits, walks, hit by pitches, out of total plate appearances, times you show at the plate. There's a ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Just take some water. And yeah. So I guess Pham's actually having a pretty good season, so even more scary that he's up with first and second, with Rays are trailing by 2, and with 1 swing they can come back. There's a grounder in Duhart. He throws the second, and there's his first. Oh, I just missed double play. We'll see if they challenge that. I think he's going to be safe, but good play by Duhart. He had to had this weird pick. That was a really tough pick. Yeah, Pham let safe at first, so the Yankees only get 1 there. But, yeah. He had a tough pick, threw to second, made a great throw. But Pham's just too fast. So like I said, 2020 player, which means he has a lot of steals and homers, and he's fast. So he beat it out. But, hey, great play by Duhart. Good turn by Gleyber Torres, but they only get 1 in that situation. And Duffy advances at third. So we have first and third, 1 out. Here's the man, the myth, the legend, Joey Wendell, who I do not really know too well. So, ooh, nice curve that hit the zone. No balls, 1 strike. Yeah, don't know him, but why do I get the feeling that because I don't know him, he's going to hit like a 3-run homer or something? Hopefully that's not the case. But yeah, so no ball, 1 strike on Joey Wendell. Ball outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. It's interesting. Speaking about Andujar's defense and that good play he had, if you did the eye test, just seeing how he is on the field, he looks like a pretty solid third baseman. I mean, he doesn't miss glove, doesn't look too bad. Glove meaning fielding ability. Fouled off, 1 ball, 2 strikes. His fielding cannon of it. There's 1 series against the Red Sox. I think that's a game where the Yankees got swept, or the last team got swept, and he made a couple of errors in consecutive plays, and yeah. But besides that game, you don't see him doing too bad. If you're just tuning in, you're talking about Miguel Andujar's defense. He's the Yankees' third baseman this year. Joey Wendell, hitter of the plate, just fouled it off. Count remains at 1-2. I don't think Andujar's defense is bad at all. I think he actually is pretty solid, but for a while, they rated him as one of the worst defenders in baseball. And that's probably going to hurt his Rookie of the Year chances, even though he is the best hitter this year as a rookie, or in the American League at least. National baseball, there's a swing and a miss. His curveball hit the lower part of the zone, and Wendell struck out swing. So one more out, and Yankees can get out of this week. That was contributed by none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Gary Sanchez. So yeah, first and third, 2 outs. But yeah, I mean, they have all these advanced metrics that measure range and plays that should be made. I don't know how they do it, how hard the ball is hit, how fast the fielders react, and I'm sure a ton of other statistical nonsense. Ball outside, not nonsense, but nonsense because I don't understand it. Just plug my computer in. 1 ball, no strikes on Brandon Lowe. But yeah, I mean, they change like every year. And it's not too consistent. With a couple players, it is. There's a swinging strike, 1 ball, 1 strike. Now on Brandon Lowe. But yeah, I mean, it changes for a lot of guys who are notoriously known for good defense every year. A couple of guys is like pretty like common, so maybe just defense it is very hard to measure. They're trying, and I respect that. Ball in the dirt, 2 balls, 1 strike now. But to take that with like such passion and just such significance, and it's still like an up and coming stat that changes like every year. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it should be weighed so heavily against him. Like, again, I think Ohtani should win because he has 20 homers. He is a great pitcher. Ball outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Jeez, hopefully Robertson does not walk the bases loaded. But, yeah, I mean, for people thinking that are just looking for more offensively or more someone who's helped their team day to day, like in Duhar, they should not take defense so awfully. There's a strike to the lower part of the zone, full count. So Robertson is 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam. As Michael K just said, when it's a full count, when it's 2 outs, when you're forced to go to base, the runner can get a head start when the pitcher throws because, you know, it was a strikeout. Who cares? Inning over. It's a walk. It's a base anyway. It's a hit. And then better jump. Fouled it off. It was a hanging curveball, high and outside of the zone. And he just fouled it off. So the count remains at full. I mean, I don't know Brandon Lowe too well. A couple of guys in this race went up, like Wendell and Lowe and Clufo, the catcher. But I haven't been too impressed with him. And there's a good hit, of course. Wow. So Gardner made the play. Wow. He, like, ran back. He, like, stuck his glove out and just crashed into the wall. He's a little banged up, but Lowe even points back to him. That would have been a sure double, surely 2 runs. Pointed Gardner. That just saved the game. And that looks like that hurt. Like, he fell to the ground after hits the fence. That's an amazing play. You should let that play up if you get the chance. That was incredible. Robinson's like, yeah! And he puts his hand above his head. That was beautiful. I mean, that really just saved the game from being tied. So, and right as I said, I'm not too impressed with Brandon Lowe. I mean, that's a 3rd out as well. But, you know, talk for a little bit more about that play and Brandon Lowe. Just tuning in, Gardner just made this highlight reel grab, crashed into the fence, caught the ball just barely, would have tied the game. And Yankees are still up 3-1 heading into the 7th inning. And I just talked about this guy, Brandon Lowe, who wasn't doing anything. Like, he grounded out play, he struck you out. Well, he just destroyed that baseball, dead center. But luckily, Gardner saved us. And this great comment earlier before the game, saying a couple days ago, he said, "Hey, this might be my last time on the Yankees," and he understood that. And he's like, "I just want to be ready. My name's called." And that's what he did. Came into the game when Hicks was hurt, makes this great grab, drives him a run. I mean, that's what I love about Gardner. He's always a hustler, like, in a good way. Always hustles ball, always runs hard. Very respected player, very good player. and he just comes in the game, gets an RBI single, helps the Yankees cause the go-ahead run. It's a game-saving grab, seeming like he never left the lineup, seeming like, hey, you still need me. I'm still a part of this team. He's a leader. He's the longest tenured Yankee of 10 years. I mean, it's great to see from him, especially if his days are numbered. Yeah, well, Cohn just said he was best center fielder, which that's not true at all. There's Kiermaier and Pilar, but is there really any other better left fielder in baseball? Probably not. He shouldn't win another some more hardware. That being said, like another Gold Glove award for like best defender. Let's see. And we now have Hechavarria up at the plate, and it's no balls, one strike. No balls, two strikes. Just foul one off. Just drink some water. Setting up break. Let's happen. Ball outside, one ball, two strikes. Genie Hechavarria's up. I mean, it's funny. Baseball kind of works itself out. You look at the fourth inning of Sanchez having a pass ball, and Hechavarria swings and misses, one out. That was like way off the plate, and now it's one out, which is annoying. But baseball, it almost corrects itself. Like, see in the fourth inning, sending Gray threw the ball away. There's a pass ball. Voit he missed the runner after feeling it, and it should have been an easy play. And now you see the great play by Gardner, and it almost works itself. It's like, all right, there's a run there, but Gardner just saved 2 runs. Over the course of a season, it works itself out. Here's McCutcheon. He takes the ball outside, way outside actually. Catcher Klufo just there to caught that. 1 ball, no strikes. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. And like I said, McCutcheon's up, by the way, if I didn't mention that. I think I did. Baseball kind of seems to work itself out if you're solid over the course of the season. There's a stat called batted balls in play. And it's also correlated with exit velocity, which is how fast the ball comes off the bat. McCutcheon fouls it off, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And essentially, sometimes there's oddities like Gary Sanchez, who it says the average batted ball in play percentage is about 300, 30% of the time when he hit the ball. That doesn't include strikeouts, of course. There's a ball inside, full count. That'd be your average of getting on base, or your average without the strikeouts, essentially. And someone was yelling in the dugout, apparently, but it's all good now. Apparently, the game just lagged, but it's still 3-2, but he fouled one off. Baseball kind of works itself out. So, like, if there's a grounder past the third baseman. It goes to left field. Pham feels it, but McCutcheon's too fast. He has a double. Thought for a second it's held to a single because he ricocheted right to the left fielder, Tommy Pham, but McCutcheon's too fast. And he now has a second hit of the game with a double. But as I was saying before, I got interrupted by play, of course, which is something the commentator has to deal with as Aaron Judge steps up to the plate. It works itself out. So even though batted balls in play makes the are great stats, and I think they are very important, and Gary Sanchez has about 300 average batted ball in play. Judge fouls one off, no balls, 1 strike. He had a 197 batted balls in play, just like mind-bouncing. All right, it's just bad luck. But also try to factor in, okay, over the course of the season, it should work itself out. It's baseball. You continually see you hit the ball hard, continuously have a good angle, like a launch angle, that is, it should work out. You should have a higher average. There's a strike at the end of the zone. No balls, 2 strikes. But it hasn't for him. And a lot of the reason I think for that is because he hits the ball right into the shift and on the ground. So he needs to work on his launch angle a bit and hit the ball the other way. That's my advice to him, as well as working on his catching abilities in the offseason, which I think most people would agree with. But the point of all that being, I love the advanced stats, and I'm definitely a fan of it. Ball inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. But sometimes they're much. And I think a lot of traditional baseball fans agree with that. Like, they are a lot. Like, it's kind of bizarre. Like, I mean, they use all these advanced stats, and sometimes they don't work. And the eye test can also work at times, so you got to use a synthesis, combination of both. Yeah, straight out of John Leisman, my philosophy teacher, his class. Ball in the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes, where he said there's a thesis, antithesis, and the combination of that and compromise of that is a synthesis. So you have these 2 opposing viewpoints of stats or statistical analysis versus the eye test, and you got to use both. I think there's a ball outside, full count. Obviously, the statistical analysis has been helping, but sometimes too much. Sometimes you got to take it like a grain of salt. Like, batted balls in play. Sanchez isn't not as much, in my opinion, a victim of bad balls in play, but he's just having an awful year. There's a line shot by Judge. That's dunk in. That's going to be a double. Smith feels it. Judge has an easy double, and that's another run. Yankees take a 4-1 lead. So back-to-back doubles from McCutchen and Judge. Yankees have a stupendous outfield. I mean, like, their backup outfitters, Gardner, who's the best defensive left fielder in the game, and Stanton, who's DH. Their starting outfield is McCutchen, former MVP, hits the 3rd best center fielder in baseball, and Aaron Judge, who is the Rookie of the Year and runner-up MVP last year. And a 6'7" behemoth. So, and those guys hit, those guys field, those guys run hard, and they just helped contribute to the Yankees' lead. Gardner's up at the plate, and he just attempted the butt, but he missed it. But he still went around, so it's no balls, 1 strike. But Judge was just up, and it's nice to see you doing well. As he just got back from injury like a week or so ago. He just had a great double. He hasn't hit a homer yet, but his walk rate's still good. His average right where he left it. He just needs to run into one. And he's a huge guy, and he's a great home run hitter, so I'm sure it'll happen. There's a ball in the dirt, blocked by Clufo. 1 ball, 1 strike. I mean, it's good to see. It's fun to see the Yankees out bullpen the Rays when they're notoriously known for their bullpen. That's what is in large part got them to 87 wins this year. And huge surprise. People thought they were going to be in last place. Yankees are taking on their strategy and doing one better. So it's fun to see. I mean, I guess if you think about it, like, more precisely, they're not really having the same type of opener strategy. It's a ground to third. Duffy booted the ball, picked it up, and then threw it to first. It was a hard hit, but as Michael K just said, the Yankees are going to take a look to see if he was safe. Ooh, that's close. First baseman Bowers picked that. It was a very short pick, and very close to see if Gardner made that play or not. It's running back into the dugout, and I'm not sure if they're going to challenge. And they are not, as Stanton approaches the plate. So it's 2 outs with Stanton up, man on second. Hopefully the Yankees can have enough of an insurance run. Insurance run being enough of a run to pad the lead. assembly. Ball in the dirt, blocked by Clufo, 1 ball, no strikes. Michael Key just mentioned that Clufo's having a rough game. That played like a lot of balls in the dirt, pass ball. Just tuning in, Yankees are up 4-1. Judge hit a double a couple batters ago, and scored McCutcheon also hit a double before him. And it's a 1-0 count to Stanton. Now the trainers here. Apparently the ball in the dirt, it hit off the hand off Clufo, I think. He didn't really block it. It was more like he tried to kick it, and I think it rolled up his hand. 1 second. Sorry, voice is like very dry right now. Or throat, that is. Ooh, wow, that's so he didn't even touch the glove. It hit off his like here on the hand. And as Tony just mentioned, David Cohn, that is, has a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Right off here. And actually don't know Clufo too well, but Michael Kay just mentioned that Clufo was the minor league player of the year a couple years ago. He's still in the game, pitching with his hand as he hit Armstrong Nets pitch, but yeah, tough time behind the plate for Clufo tonight, and this is the first game I've seen him play. Stanton fouls it off, 1 ball, 1 strike. Excuse me. Yeah, catching is the toughest, might be the toughest position in sports. I mean, catching, quarterback, actually not even quarterback, just football in general. I guess football in general is tougher than any position here. Ground ball at the middle, fielded by the second baseman, throws to first. That's the 3rd out. So they just get a run on 2 hits, as Michael Kay just said, and they take a 4-1 lead into the bottom of the 7th inning. I'll be back. So take a drink and eat some chips. Oh, as I was mentioning earlier, actually I'll get back to it now soon, but I'll talk more about the openers and Yankee strategy today. Just tuning back in, I'm still on a break. Is just switching, teams are switching positions for the half inning. Oh yeah, I do apologize that the August the Yankees were playing the Blue Jays, meant the Rays. For some reason, I thought it was Blue Jays, so this is actually Yankees at Rays. And I'm gonna correct it after the game. But maybe I can edit it. Hopefully, I can. But yeah. So Aroldis Chapman is pitching. He's normally the Yankees closer, but they're trying to get him back in the swing of things after I believe it was a hamstring injury. And they're putting him in more high-leverage situations before putting him back in a closer role. And this is more of a high-leverage situation. Like, it's not like a blowout game, or they're losing. So he can get a hold here, but not a save. So he's probably next time he'll close. which is nice to see. Like they'll be back to full health. Hopefully they'll have the full roster back to full health, including Didi and Hits. Hopefully Hits isn't too bad today. There's a strike at 98. They don't say the count right now, but I think it's either 0-1 or 1 or 0-2. But he says the first game Chapman came back where Mookie Betts homered off him. He was a great player. He's been great. Pretty sure it's 0-2, or Sanchez forgot the count, but I'm not even sure if they called that one a strike. No, they called that one a ball. It was over his slider that caught the lower half of the plate because Sanchez dropped it. He didn't get it. That's what happens when you don't catch, or you don't catch well. And it's every day. It's so annoying. Wow, great slider. He struck him out. That slider started like below the knees and just finished at on the dirt, and it was great. And his slider is very sharp. And 1 out as Chapman struck out Austin Meadows. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because when Chapman signed his lucrative deal with the Yankees at 5 years, $86 million, and I believe he's in the second year of that contract. They traded him in 15. They traded him in 16, got him back in 17. So this is the second year of his lucrative 5-year, $86 million contract. I mean, they were worried that, hey, his fastball's going to go down. Your fastball goes down in age. They're getting him in large part, or they signed him in large part because of his fastball and how hard he throws. A 1-1 count, by the way, is a strike down the middle. But luckily, Chapman has other good pitches. Slider has counted for half the strikeouts this year, or about half the strikeouts. And that was just a great slider in the last at bat to strike them at Meadows. Fastball just missed it inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. I mean, he's still throwing he's still averaging about 98 miles per hour. He's getting back in the swing of things. He's not too worried about him throwing 97 the last pitch. But yeah, I mean, it's still pretty solid, and yeah, it hasn't been, his fastball's been down. There's a slider for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes right now. But I'm not too concerned with him. He's having a great year. He's just been a little bit derailed by injuries, but still having a great season. He's still one of the top tier closers in the game when he's healthy. By the way, Jake Bauers, the lefty hitting first baseman's up the plate right now. He pops it up. 2-1 Duhar. He's under it, makes the catch. What the Rays Stadium's called Tropicana Field. I believe after the drink, they always name it after big corporations usually. Yankee Stadium, which is glad that's the way it is. They make enough revenue as it is as well, so they don't need a big corporation named after a stadium. But some of the things that's cool about the Rays Stadium is they have a dome. It rains a lot in Florida, so that's a great idea. And as Bufo steps on the plate right now, he's still in the game after hurting his hand. He hit the hand after the pitch. They have a dome. And what comes with a dome, catwalks, like high up, and there's a slider that falls in for a strike on 1. And they have these catwalks. And if you hit like a certain catwalk, that can be an automatic out, an automatic double, an automatic home run, or just a dead ball. And yeah, so if it's really high pop, you always think, oh, did it hit the catwalk? Is it still in play? There's a ball outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. But luckily it wasn't high enough, and Duhar just caught that pop up easily. But the top of the dome is also like gray, so the baseball can blend too. So it's not the easiest place to catch a baseball in Tropicana Field. Ball way high, 2 balls, 1 strike. Speaking of Chapman, since of course he's pitching right now, what he's been doing better this year, that knows a bit, is I think his walk rate's a bit down. And I remember when he first came to the Yankees, and he was effectively wild. There's a slider dumping in for a strike, 2 balls, 2 strikes. But he would he would walk a couple guys, but he would strike out a couple guys, and no one could really hit him. He's being a bit more hittable now, which is a bit unfortunate. There's a slider in dirt, full count. But he's walked less guys, which is nice. I mean, this guy has some big mechanics, so he's fast. He's pretty easy to steal on. And, yeah. And there's a lot of moving parts, and he uses the lower half better than any pitcher in baseball. He courts his body better than anyone in baseball. And that's how he was able to record the fastest pitch in history, 105.1. Here's a fastball. Klufo just mentioned how he walked less guys, so of course he walks the number 9 batter who struck it the last 2 times. As now Smith comes up to the plate. But for the most part, it's been less. And this is one of his better years. I mean, he's been injured a couple times to the hamstring. And like I said before, he uses his lower half so well that sometimes, he puts so much force on it. There's a fastball at the top of the zone for a strike. No balls, 1 strike. As I was saying, he sometimes uses so much force on that on his stride, or his how far his leg goes on his way to home plate, that he has trouble. He has trouble with it can hurt him, and that's one of the reasons why this hamstring maybe fell off a bit weird, or he stretched it. But part of that extension, which is he uses about 130% of his body plus of his height to strike out. The closer you are to the plate, the faster you throw. It helps for more speed. So that's one of the reasons why he's one of the hardest throwing relievers in the game. Maybe not so much anymore, since there's a lot more hard throwing relievers. The game's lagging, by the way, so getting into that. But he's still a great pitcher, still a great closer, still throws hard. And yeah, but his mechanics is also faulty because he uses his mechanics in such a unique way and so much force. He is prone to injury because of his mechanics, more so the Yankees. There's a slider for a strike, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hopefully, he can get out of this inning, and there'll be never effective outing for Chapman. But that's another reason why people, at least I was a bit skeptical about why they used to pay that much money for a closer like him. Yeah, he's one of the best, but he can be injury prone, or he has fall for injury prone. There's a slider in the dirt for strike that Matt Swift had no chance on, because that was the 3rd out, and we headed to the top of the 8th. Chapman had a good inning with 2 strikeouts and a walk. I'm going to take a 2-minute break as we go to the top of the 8th. If you're just tuning back in, it's they're changing the innings, so I'm seeing a minute break. Oh, yeah, I do want to talk about the opener a bit more. As is happening during this next half inning. I think his strategy is slightly different from it. Spit my tongue. Ow. Ah, that's the worst feeling. We're still allowed to bet, so should be back to the game. I'm just re-entering it. All right, so we are back. Rays do replace their catcher after he got hit in the hand while catching the ball. New catcher's Adam Moore. Have heard of, like many of the Rays catchers in past years, he's a defensive first catcher. And yeah. Duhar swings and misses, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Oh, yeah, so what I was going to say about openers versus just bullpen games. Call an opener bullpen game. That's fair because that's what it is. You're using the bullpen a lot more than starters. There's a swing and a miss, 1 ball, 2 strikes on a Duhar. Yarbrough's still pitching. But the Yankees doing a little bit different. Like openers usually have 1 or 2 guys, and then if a guy like Yarbrough pitched like 4 innings or something, Yankees only like 1 or 2 inning guys. So Yankees more of like a bullpen day. Ball in the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes, where they're trying to like give their starters a break, trying to give them like 1 last start, all that stuff. But the Rays is more opener. Like that's the more opener strategy. And he's just like, all right, we don't want to like start someone today. We're just gonna like use up our bullpen with 1 or 2 innings. Not as the strategy is to mix it up, but just to like, we just don't want to use a starter that day. Ball inside, full count. Undue hard. Got a little 100. Just get one more chicken. Foul balls. Count remains at 3-2. Wow. So Andujar is batting .299. He's right on the cusp of 300 season, which is amazing, especially as a rookie. You don't see that too often. And even Acuna Jr., he's probably the best rookie in baseball right now. 25 homers, 15 steals. He doesn't even bat 300. Here's the 3-2. It's a ground ball to third base. Duffy throws and gets him. He was going to his backhand side and then threw up his back foot and kind of like flicked it up. And Bowers did another short pick. He's actually solid first baseman today. Basically the same play as last inning on the force out. Yeah, or that bat from Gardner where he hits Duffy. Same person too. So Bowers has picked up Duffy a couple times on some difficult plays. Oh, by the way, there's 2 outs actually. I'm going to check what Voigt did and I'll let you guys know. But yeah, Duffy's a good fielding third baseman, as I said before. Okay, Voigt ground out to second. And again, sorry for not seeing that. So they were just showing the rookies right now. And as I said for Ohtani, so this guy has 20 homers, batting .281. Obviously, all his bats, but still has 55 RBIs. And then there's a 3.31 ERA. 11-9 strikeout per 9 ratio. ERA being average runs he would do in a full 9-inning game, and K per 9 ratio being there's a 2-1. There's a strike, 2 balls, 2 strike. K per 9 ratio is like on average how many strikeouts would you have in the full course of a 9-inning game? And his is like 11, which is like insane. Anytime you have 9 per 9. Or about one inning, that's incredible. So the 11, that's utterly insane. So this is his first year. So he has 5 wins, and he's my pick for rookie of the year. And here comes the full count to Gleyber Torres, another rookie candidate. He fouls it off. Looking to do hard. He's the best offensive player, hands down. His defense is shoddy, so that's why Torres is also in the mix. But honestly, I don't think Torres' defense is as good as people say. Again, we have the whole conversation about how defense metrics can be a bit overrated. Then you have Ohtani, who's also an all-around player, but he doesn't field. He just hits and pitches. But pitching is way more impressive. I mean, hitting and pitching is way more impressive than hitting and fielding. So, my pick is Ohtani. Or as the announcer would say, Ohtani-san. Actually, it's funny. Whenever Ohtani hits a home run, the Angels announce like "Big Fly for Ohtani-san." It's like very exasperating, very exciting. Torres just broke his bat on the foul ball, so he goes to the bat boy who gives him a new one. It's like a little shard that is picked up by him as he gets a new bat. Let's drink some water. There's the ball high, so Torres gets on base. As Michael K just mentioned, he's on base for the third time tonight. And I mean, Torres gets on base. That's better than Duhars. That should help his cause too. And he's only 21 years old, but he has one of the best plate disciplines of any rookie in baseball, perhaps even the best. He makes adjustments within a bat, which is a very major league level skill. He takes his walks. He hits all fields. He's going to be a great player for years to come. Or that's what it looks like. And this year, he already has 23 homers in the conversation for Rookie of the Year. So, sky's the limit for Gleyber Torres and Andujar and Ohtani. But Ohtani is having Tommy John surgery in the offseason. There's a slider that dumps in, or maybe a curveball. It says only 75. Curveball then. 0-1 count on Gary Sanchez. But and it's nice to see these rookies doing so well, especially with Sanchez not being that great. I mean, hopefully he can return normal next year. I mean, Yankees have 251 homers, and they're 14 away from the record with, I believe, 6 games to go. So, wow, that was an awful swing. That curveball was way outside, way low, way off the plate. Swings and miss, whole body flailing. That was just ugly to watch. It's just like anything outside. It's just he can't hit. It's just like he's not hitting that. And years prior, he has hit the outside pitch so well. He stayed more centered. This year, anything not inside is just flailing. So obviously, pitcher's not going to throw inside as much. They're going to give off-speed pitches that go outside. And yeah, Sanchez swung and missed as we head to the bottom of the 8th. I'm going to get some water. So one cool thing about the Rays ballpark is Rays used to be called the Devil Rays, and they've had the same stadium since 1998, their first season, and they still have Devil Rays in this like little tank uh, behind center field. And that ball's fouled off by um, Matt Duffy for first strike in the chances of pitching. But for this, but for the Rays, they have these Devil Rays still in this tank, and it's still like in a really cool touristy guide. I mean, Tropicana's not the coolest field. That ball is fouled off, so no balls, 2 strikes. That's not the coolest ballpark, but they have Devil Rays, and you can like go and see them, and that's really cool. And sometimes the ball lands in the Devil Ray tank, but very, very rarely. More common in a Diamondbacks' Chase Field, where they have a pool, and the ball dunks in sometimes, or it's called splash hits. Well, no, it's not called splash hits. That's something else. But it's cool, and it's fun when it happens. Actually, with the Diamondbacks in Chase Field, the Dodgers clinched the division a couple years ago. There's a grounder to Hechavarria. He throws the first, and he gets him out. He had to field it off his backhand. He had no time for a step, just threw it off his back foot, and got him for the first out. So great play by Hechavarria. Again, he's a great defensive shortstop, makes that play look very routine, very easy. Yeah, I was going to say Didi because they're both just great shortstops, but yeah. So it's 1 away, and hey, I've never been complaining about Hechavarria's defense. So hopefully not. But yeah, so as I was saying, the Dodgers clinched the pennant a couple years back at Chase Field. They actually went to the swimming pool, and they actually like just hung out in the swimming pool, and the Diamondbacks got really mad, and the Diamondbacks got fined, and it was really funny. There's a pop-up in the outfield to Andujar, and he makes the catch for out number 2. So Michael Kay just said that, I mean, I've heard this a little bit before from him, that Betances holds the record for most consecutive games with strikeouts, which is with an AA, holds the American League record with 44. The first 2 batters were just out strikeouts, and they got out. So he has 1 more out to try to get a strikeout. He started off with a strike to Tommy Pham. So far looking good. Side, 1 ball, 1 strike. So let's see if we can keep it up. I mean, I used Betances less this year, which has been great. He's had some great stretches this year. There's a slider in for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So, hey, this is looking good. Andujar throws the first, and the streak ends. But Betances had a good year. He limited his innings this year, and he still played a quality season. Still a lot of strikeouts. I think he still was going to get like over 100 strikeouts this year, or close to it. It's amazing. And yeah, he's a great pitcher. He's had a really easy 1, 2, 3 inning, or other words, retired all 3 batters consecutively. As we head to the top of the 9th, I'm going to take a short break. Use the bathroom really quick. A lot of water drinking. All right, so if you're just tuning in, or me just coming back, and I'm just tuning in, it's a 1-1 count to McCutcheon. And Rays pitcher Brian Yarborough was finally replaced by a pitcher named Jimmy Schultz. So Michael K just told me just said something cool. He didn't tell me directly, of course. The for that is he is the GOAT. He is the man. McCutcheon just went Mr. 1-2 strikes, and yeah, I would really like to be an announcer like him. But he said something really cool. Wow, great curveball. And a catcher can't find, but he throws to first in time. Wow, just got him. So if you don't complete an out, or the catcher doesn't catch him straight, to throw to first base, of course, to complete the out. And he went to the outside of the bag, which is usually uncommon to throw a guy out at first like that. And yep, he got him out. It was by like a step or so. Oh, wait, sorry. Wasn't McCutcheon, that was Hechavarria. My bad. Now McCutcheon's up. They're actually talking about Hechavarria's spot in the batting order, number 9 spot. And sorry, I didn't see that last pitch. Maybe it wasn't a pitch, but oh yeah, it was a strike. Snowball's 1 strike on McCutcheon. But they were talking about Hechavarria's spot in the batting order, number 9 spot. And no team in Major League history has had 20 homers from every spot in the batting order. These have every spot except for the 9th batter, and the 9th batter had 19. So one more, and they make history. And this is a very historic Major League hitting team. They're like top 6 all time in homers for a team. They still have a chance to break the record, although that would take a lot. You need 14 homers in 6 games, or I think even 5 games now. Yeah, I think it might even be 5 games. So that's gonna be tough, but it's still possible, technically. But yeah, there's the strike. So 2 balls, 2 strikes on McCutcheon. Interesting. So Boone or Michael K is talking about Boone right now. Named Aaron Boone. There's a fastball that just misses outside. Full count. So it was about the Yankees wild card game. And wild card game, they prefer to have home field advantage because you're on crowd, better chance of winning. Statistically, and it's your own turf. There's a grounder up the middle to second baseman, throws to first. That was the second out. But what was I going to say? Yeah, he said that Michael had relayed the message about Boone that he doesn't he wants the home field advantage, and so because there's some good options to pitch the wild game, he'd rather use one of them the day before, or use them to the very end to make sure that he has home field advantage. So that comes first before the start. And he's had great relievers. I mean, you can see today, 1 run out the relief corps. Judge just swung and missed, so 2 balls, 1 strike. But yeah, but that's about most important for they get home field advantage, and that is I agree with that decision because I want that too. I want the Yankees to be at home. I want them to have a better chance of winning, and they have 3 capable starters to pitch a great game. So I think it's a good decision. No balls, 2 strikes on Judge. He just took a fastball on the outside corner, and it's 2 outs right now. There's a pitch. Fastball high that's just one missed on. Tired the Yankees on 1, 2, 3. Struck Judge out on 3 pitches, so that's pretty impressive. And did a great outing. 2 strikeouts in 1 inning. Yankees couldn't hit him. Very impressed. And they head to the bottom 9th, and Yankees should wrap this up. Take a 2-minute break. Well, so that pitcher Yarborough um, pitched 5 innings. Like usually the Rays starters from Toros, go 3 or 4. He pitched 5, so he didn't do that well, and he's going to get the loss. But you can do that bad. 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks. I mean, that's respectable. That's basically a start in itself. That would be a qualified start if he had started the game. So, yeah. Still in the Braves, so just want to mention that, though. So Neil Walker replaced Miguel and Duhar at third. Yeah, some reps. Yankees are up by 4 runs. You can kind of I wouldn't say it would be short the defense, but get your other guys who usually on the bench to play. The pitcher up right now is Zach Britton, who came over for and he's been doing better as of late. There's a ball that just missed low on who's up right now? I think it's Bowers. It's Wendell, both lefties. Lefty stereotype. There's a strike. It's funny. The umpire, what's his name? Jerry Lane, right-down umpire, so I can remember them. It's kind of tough to tell when he calls a strike because he just points his arm out. He doesn't do like strike like this. He just points his arm straight out. He doesn't even. There's a swinging strike, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Joey Wendell. So, yeah, pretty funny. Like he doesn't even usually do the gun, but it's just it's like just a hand motion. So he can be kind of tough to see at times. And it's just tuning as a 1-2 count to Joey Wendell, and he went around. So Britton has the first out of the half inning, and it's 1 out in the bottom of the ninth. So Zach Britton, he throws pretty much 1 pitch, like Mariano. Not his pitch, but Carlos Gomez is up. He's pitch hitting for Brandon Lau, number 27. Just put that in. But as I was saying, he has really only 1 pitch, and it's a sinker. He can throw a sinker from 94 to 97 miles per hour, and it just sinks right down. It just goes straight down. It's hard. It's effective. He'll get a lot of awkward swings, and that was a very awkward swing from Joey Wendell. It's a 0-1 count on Gomez, and here's the pitch. And that one's nearly in the dirt, and he just grounded it foul. So too, but that's what I'm talking about. I mean, Britton does that. And it's impressive. He's a good pitcher, great pickup by the Yankees, and he's pitching better as of late. Here comes the 0-2. Bottom dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one, Gomez not swing at us. Was way off the plate. Warming in the Yankees bullpen, probably got right now, is Domingo Germán. And he was Yankees' 5th starter for a little bit this season. And he strikes him out. Another sinker in the dirt. That one he swung at. And so Yankees are 1 out away from a great victory, out bullpenning the Rays. Sanchez just caught that one. Barely, of course. I mean, he is tough to catch, but yeah. Felix Sanchez is a lot of crap, but still. It's easy to understand if you're a Yankee fan. You watch him every day. It's pretty frustrating. Now, C.J. Cron is pitch hitting for the right fielder, Austin Meadows. Cron has 28 homers this year, and I'm a bit surprised. He was former Angels first baseman. Actually, also want to mention that Herman's he hasn't come in the game yet. Burns still pitching. I was going to say. That was a very awkward swing. He had it's like that, just like a little whiff. And now it's 0-2, and it's one pitch away from winning. As I was saying, Cron was originally a first baseman of the Angels, but Pujols is also there, and he didn't really have as much a chance to play. And now he's 20 homers to the Rays. Fouls it off. And, yeah, he's put up a career year, so it'll be interesting to see how he progresses in the near future. But, yeah, I mean, he's always had, 20 homer potential. I don't know how he is as a defensive first baseman, but I don't hear anything about him as a defensive first baseman, so I assume he's all right. But, yeah, now he's just upped his power game. Has a swing and a miss, but it gets by Sanchez. He's going to reach. Of course he does. God. So Brennan struck out this side, kind of. Struck all three batters, but the ball got away. And then Cron goes to first base. I mean, David Cohn's right. It was a difficult pitch to block, but it was inside. It was hard in. But, it just went, all the way, just at least pocket a little bit. I know it's 94, but it's just, all the time. Jeez. But this game, 2 wild pitches and a pass ball. That is awful. Normal game should have none of it. And there's Cinder that Johnson for a strike on one to now Jake Bowers, who I mistaken for Wendell a couple batters ago. Both white first basemen, both white lefties. So never swinging a miss on a sinker. And Rays are down to their final strike. My bad, the Yankees are actually up 4-1. I was thinking it was 5-1 all the time. I'm the one scoring it. But so Braden's going to be closing it. Or he is closing it. So one more pitch to another Yankee victory, which should be their 96th win. He fouls it off. I'm an 0-2 count, you want to have a pitch out of the zone. So that pitch is middle inside. So he's just able to foul it off. He threw a little bit more down, probably would have had the strikeout. But hey, Burden's a great pitcher. Can't complain. Doing great. If he strikes all 4 batters, that'd be pretty funny. Very likely right now. Has popped up to Andujar. He goes to the edge of the infield, Walker, and makes the play. Yankees win 4-1. It's a 96 victory. And Burden gets a save. Sonny Gray gets the win. Yankees out bullpen the Rays, who are notoriously known to do their openers, and that's the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had a lot more consistent viewers today. For the most part, it worked well. I know a couple of times I had to fix my computer middle, but thank you for staying by. Had a record 7 live views today, so not a lot, but last time was only 5, and yeah, so it's getting better. So thank you guys for tuning in, and have a great night.